Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today I'm quite excited actually because I've just bought a very rare car. I've never owned one of these cars before. In fact, no, I think I'm right in saying I've never driven one. I've never even been in one. And that's quite unusual for me. I've been trying to get one of these cars on the channel for some time now, but it just hasn't happened because they're so rare. Anyway, a couple of days ago, my brother got a message on Instagram with all the details of this car, so he forwarded them to me and I said, yes, immediately, buy it. So that was it. I agreed to buy it. He kindly dealt with it all for me, which of course means I haven't actually seen the car yet for myself. But I do know a few bits about it. For example, it's an early 2007 56 Citroen C6. It's got the 2.7 litre turbo diesel V6. I think it's an executive model. It's automatic. I don't know actually if they're all auto. Some might have been manual, I'm not sure. Like I say, this is new territory for me, so I really don't know. I can't even remember the last time I saw one of these cars on the road. They're as rare as hen's teeth. Also, it's done around 126,000 miles, which sounds like a lot, but it's an 18-year-old car, this, so it's not that high, really. The previous owners owned it for around 10 years, so I'm hoping that means it's been looked after and cherished. And the best part, I've only paid £750 for it. 750 quid for such a rare French luxury car. Shall we go and see it in the flesh and maybe take it for a drive? Right, I'll see you there. Well, we're here. Oh, that's so weird. I'm genuinely really excited about this. I know it's only £750, but it's just so odd. Why did Citroen ever make such a car? I mean, it's like their interpretation of a luxury car, but it's almost like a modern interpretation of the old DS. It's just so odd. Do you remember? It's just come back to me this actually. There was a piece on Top Gear, and they used those as like a film tracking car for the horse racing. Do you remember? I'm sure there was a piece on Top Gear. It might have been Fifth Gear. Correct me if I'm wrong. We've even got the old tax disc holder. Now, predictably, it is crying out for a new set of plates and a headlamp buff, which is always music to my ears. That's quite a tidy car, you know, for 120,000 miles and 18 years old. It's quite tidy. We've got a black leather interior, black exterior. I'm quite pleased. What am I going to do with it? Might keep it. Shall I keep it? Right, before we do any more then, let me do a thorough vehicle history check using CarVertical. Now, it's really easy to use. All you do is go to carvertical.com and then type in the reg, or the VIN. It's as easy as that. Let me show you then. So this is the CarVertical homepage. Let's type in the reg. So, LB, so it's a London car originally, 56, X-Ray Charlie, Oscar. Check vehicle. Now what this is doing is checking database in 35 different countries. It isn't just a UK thing, so it'll tell you if it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. It doesn't take long either, it's just loading the report. In addition to that, it shows you the ownership changes, the MOT history, the average market value, the full spec of the car. It's a really handy feature, this. And it isn't expensive. And this week, it's even cheaper than usual. They've got a Cyber Monday offer on. So if you use the promo code CM, that's CM, Cyber Monday, you'll save yourself 30% off each and every check that you do. Right, and the report's ready. So, view report. Right. Here then, straight away, we've got an amber warning for the odometer. So this might have had its mileage tampered, or, which is often the case, this to be honest, it's probably a typo. We'll try and do some detective work ourselves. But there's no outstanding finance, there's no recorded accident damage, and it's never been stolen, so that's all good. Right, beware, this vehicle may have fake mileage. So last known mileage was 126. Now the CarVertical Insight, it says, it seems this vehicle wasn't being used for a while. There may be good reason, but it's still useful to learn the facts. Right, so it done 126 in November last year, so it's got a short MOT this, I'm going to have to get that done. Now it's fairly steady every single year, so there's nothing suspicious there. But if we look here, if we go back to January 2010, it had done 29,000 miles, then in March 2010, it had suddenly done 48,000 miles, which is impossible. That isn't possible to do so many miles in 3 months. So it's obviously a typo, that's the issue. Because if you look then back in June 2010, it had only done 30. So I imagine someone's just typed in the wrong mileage there, or perhaps typed in the kilometre mileage rather than the, the mileage. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's been tampered with at all, to be honest. I think it's just a typo. Now the average market price for such a vehicle is £3,743, and I paid just £750 for this, so I can't really go wrong, can I? What else? It's a 201 horsepower automatic. 6-speed auto. It shows the recalls. Right, okay then. So the ownership changed in 2013, December of. So that's right. Failed, passed, failed, passed. Okay, right. So at its last MOT in November last year, There were 2 advisor items on the front brake disc. That's it. That's all right, isn't it? Might have had a result with this. I might, as they say, have swum the channel. Let's go and have a look, shall we? Well, the first bit of good news is we've got both sets of keys. Typical French key. That one's broken. It's being held together with a rubber band, but we can fix that. And that one is in full working order. Très bien, as they say in France. Oh, I'm such a geek. I hate myself. Right, let's go and look at this C6. Quite a nice day today. Sun's out. There's no wonder grip van though. What on earth is going on? Makes me concerned. Right, round the back then we've got a unknown brand. We've got a Rotella, never heard of it. But on the bright side, it's on about 5mm of tread. The wheels could do with being refurbished. The brake discs look a little bit ropey. Now, I don't advise the brake discs on the front, but those back ones look a bit worn out as well. They're not bad wheels. They're so weird. Look at the shape of that. We've got this sort of concave rear screen. Wouldn't like to pay for a new one of those. And then a funny looking boot lid. It's not pretty, but it's just, I don't know, it's so weird. It's kind of cool. I think you'll be in agreement, to be fair, with that. On the front, have we got a matching Rotella? Oh, we do actually. That's all right then. That's on about 4mm of tread, so that's pretty good. And the brake discs do indeed look a little bit grim. I think we're into a full set of discs and pads on this. Quite straight on the panels though. There are no dents, no signs of obvious paint, no orange peel. Headlamps will buff back, I'm pretty sure of that. And the xenons actually. It's got its original West London Citroen plates. I don't know how much this would have been back in 2007, but I imagine 30 grand, maybe more. Quite tidy this. I was looking out then for stone chips on the bonnet, because you'd think with 126 on it, it'd be peppered, and it isn't really. It could do with a good buff though. The sun is shining down on this now and you can see loads of little fine scratches, but they will come out. Round this side, we haven't got a Rotella, we've got a Winrun. Never heard of it. And again, the brake disc is, well, has seen better days, I think. Yeah, this would definitely benefit from a good old buff. Got the rotor. Oh, this is the highest tax bracket. That's unfortunate, isn't it? So back in 2015, it would have cost £485 a year, but of course that is now something like £735 a year to tax a £750 car, which is obviously daylight robbery, isn't it? And I think with the new budget incoming any day, I think that'll increase even more. We've got another Rotella, so we've got 3 Rotellas and 1 Winrun. Right, more brands that I'd never heard of. It's quite tidy though, this. In fact, very tidy. Very tidy. Can't even see any dents, which for such a big barge like this, you'd expect some. My folding mirrors work on the unlock button, so that's good. How do I get in the boot? Does anyone know? Oh. Right. We've got a whole host of spare parts here. We've got a V5 there. That worries me slightly. French electrics aren't the best, are they? And okay, right. We've got some spare parts, some mats, some discos de freno there. Tenemos discos de freno. Right, we've got new brake discs. We've got a wheel bearing kit. What else? C6 rear ABS. Okay, right. Well, that's good. What about under here? Is there any sort of spare wheel or not? Oh, there is. Wow, that's heavy, right. Well, if the previous owners bought those for the front, that's going to save me some money, isn't it? So that is a result, really. We've got what looks like suspension bushes and stuff there. So that's good. Right. Well, I shall tell my mechanic then, or ask, not tell, I don't tell anyone. I shall ask my mechanic to sift through these parts and see which parts need fitting. I've just noticed, like, I know this car's weird, but look at the position of the boot struts and the hinges. How odd. Something loose in here, actually. Got a screw loose. And I think you all knew that already. Oh, pillarless. Look at this, it gets better. Everyone loves a pillarless door, don't we? We've got double glazed windows, or, you know, I always get this wrong, and then I'm always told in the comments, oh, they're not double glazed, they're just double laminated, or some such nonsense anyway. However, we've got some frost in there. Oh, look at this, is fancy, right. Look at that for storage. That's over-engineered, isn't it? And then in there we've got, is that an ashtray, being French, is that? I don't know, not really sure. It's very clean though, very clean. We've got nice rubber mats, loads of legroom here, loads of legroom. We've got cigarette lighters, obviously, because it's still cool to smoke in France. What else? It smells clean. I'm really impressed with this so far. Got a nice armrest. We've got a ski hatch there. And then down up here, this is for the three-point seatbelt thing in the middle. Well, that's quite good. It is very clean, this. Very clean. Let's get to the front then, shall we? Okay, what have we got then? We've got more of these funny door storage compartments. That's quite good. We've got some more storage down here. Somewhere for your pan au chocolat. In here we've got some storage. Get plenty of things in there. Ah, there's ashtray. There's cigarette lighters everywhere. Okay, car design for Noel Coward. Right, let's have a look at service history, because I didn't even think to check this, because I wasn't that bothered. I was sold on the idea. So I thought, for £750, can't complain. We've got electric seats on both sides. We've got a head-up display system. We've got an auto-dimming rear view mirror. This was some car back in its day, wasn't it? Anyway, service history. Let's have a look, shall we? So the first owner was a business registered in London somewhere. Right, some sort of management car then, this, isn't it? I imagine. I've just seen plenty of stamps here, so I wonder if this has ever had a timing belt, because this old 2.7 litre turbo diesel engine is the same 2.7 turbo diesel that you'd get in Jaguar and Land Rovers. And I know the timing belt was due at 8 years or 106,000 miles. So it was done by Citroen at 20, then 40, then Citroen C6 for sale.com at 48. It's a bit vague. Okay, another one at 58, all in the same pen here, which is a bit suspicious. Borough Cars, Peterborough. Replace gearbox, oh, that's not good, is it? Replace gearbox and an aircon regas. It was done in 2012. Williams Minis, Peterborough. Replace offside bottom arm. Okay, very good. We've got some more here. New battery. Another one at 64. 4x4 specialist, 79. You know, if you're going to fake history, at least change the colour of the pen. Come on. Did you ever write a get out of gym letter at school? Right, I think that's it then, isn't it? So there is some history, but not as comprehensive as I was hoping, really. And no mention of a timing belt. Let's pull the bonnet latch. Have a look, shall we? I'm just really intrigued by this. I don't really want to get out of it. That's all fairly sort of standard of Peugeot Citroen of this era. But then we've got some sort of weird dash down here. We've got buttons everywhere. And it's very comfortable straight away. You need the power on for those to work. So yeah, if it hasn't had its timing belt done, it's going to need it. And that's about £600 on one of these. It's quite an expensive job. More pillarless doors. A very stylish car, this. I was hoping to see some sort of sticker here to say cam belt done 2 years ago. But I can't see anything so far. Of course, everything's covered in plastic, so you can't really see an awful lot. It does look quite genuine though. It's not overly clean, which is good. Okay. No leaks of any description that I can see. Chassis legs look straight. Right, well that all looks fine. And of course the bonnet struts are good. They're all fine. I think we need to fire this up then, don't we? You know, when I agreed to buy this for £750, I had no idea. Don't think we need any of that, do we? Not really in keeping with the Citroen C6, is it, that sort of music? It's doing 100... Oh, we've got a slightly noisy starter motor, which, incidentally... Oh, and difficult power steering. Very notchy, that. And you can hear it. It might just be low on fluid. However, it might need a new pump or something. On the bright side, my electric seats work, so that's good. Good news about the seats. Oh yeah, look at that. We've got memory seats, lumbar support, that's good. Windows work. 1, 2, 3, 4, all work, right. We're in luck. Yeah, it's a nice clean car, this. Even the headlining's in good order, actually. It's not bad at all. Not bad, right. I imagine my air conditioning will work because there was a bill in there to have it regassed. Got this little weird gauge cluster down there. I don't know whether you'll be able to see that on the camera or not. Yeah, the power steering is a concern because it's making a right racket. The engine sounds sweet though. There's not really much more I can tell you then, is there? I suppose. We've got a button here for the sport because of course there's got some sort of weird suspension. In fact, should we play around with it? Should we try and break it? Try and raise it, shall we? Up, in progress. I think it's quite slow progress, this, in fairness. Do we get out and have a look? Does it look a bit... Does it look raised? Oh yeah, look at that. It's jacked right up, isn't it? And then should we try it down? What's happening now then? Normal position, okay. Down in progress. Oh yeah, look at that, you can feel it. Oh yeah, we're leveling up. Well, I'm impressed. And then yeah, look at that. Well, I think I've got a bit of a bargain here, even if it does have heavy power steering. Let's get it back to normal then. My air conditioning's working, that's all good. We know Radio 1 works because it gave me a headache already. We've got sport mode, we've got snow, we've got cruise control. Then down here then we've got the controls for the head-up display. So if I press that, does that work or not? Well, so far then my head-up display isn't working, but I'm not complaining. Should we take this for a spin? Because, like I say, I've never driven one of these cars, so I'm quite excited. Should we get out on the road? Let's do it. Right then, first I'm driving a Citroen C6. Quite like the gear lever, big chunky thing. How do I release the handbrake? Does anyone know? Oh, there it is. There we go, right, we're off. Steering's very noisy. Hopefully it's just low fluid. My seat's getting warm, I don't know how to turn that off. Ah, there we go, the little dial. Can't tell whether that's on or off. We'll try it. Try it. So far, it's very smooth. So what do we know about it then? It needs the wheels refurbishing, so I'll have to take it to Prestige Wheels. It needs a very good buff, so I'll have to get Jimmy involved for that. Order some new reg plates for it. In addition to that, it needs a service and an MOT. We know the MOT runs till November, so that's very short, so I'll have to get that done. Okay, I think what I've done is increase the heat of my seat there because I'm sweating. I think I'll give it a service. I'll ask my mechanic to fit those brake discs and fit all those suspension components. And also while it's down there, I'll get him to sort this steering out because it's a bit like the French themselves. It's protesting a little bit too much. And we're away, right. Oh, she's got some power. 200 horsepower. Oh, sounds good actually. Smooth. this is a bit of a design flaw, but when the sun hits that little gauge cluster, you can't see a thing. Yeah, it feels very loose. Whenever I go over a bump or a pothole, it feels very sort of knocky. So obviously I need to replace all those suspension bushes and stuff in the back. Are you just pulling out here? Thank you. Drives all right then. Quite pleased with this. This honestly is like, it's a cliche this, but I've been sat on a sofa. Oh, look at this. They are the least sort of ergonomically friendly buttons to adjust the seat. Oh yeah, just need a cigarette on now, don't I? Feel all French, relaxed. Also what I might do is ask my brother to message the seller and see if he had the cam belt done. If he's had it since 2013, he must have had the cam belt done, mustn't he? I hope he has, otherwise it's going to cost me the best part of 600 quid. I don't know what I'm going to do with this car, but I really like it. I haven't really got anywhere for it, and it's about 6 meters long. It's quite cumbersome, but they're just really rare, aren't they? If I sell this, when am I ever going to get another? And I think, ladies and gents, that's all the reason anyone ever needs, isn't it? Kind of irreplaceable, this, in a way. What should we do first then? I think we might as well just head straight down to my mechanics and let her crack on with the work. Give it a service, give it an MOT, fit the new brake discs. I think we're going to need rear brake discs as well, to be honest. I think I'm going to have quite a substantial bill with this, possibly sort of £600, something like that, to get through a clean MOT and a clean service. But at that point, it should at least drive better. You know, it won't be knocking every time I go over a bump. So I think I'll do that. I can't believe the condition. Like, you'd expect 127,000 miles, you'd expect the seats to be all worn. They're just not. I shall make inquiries about the cam belt. If it needs one, I'll have to do one. I'll get it to Prestige and do the wheels. I'll get it to Jimmy's and buff it, buff the headlamps. I'll call Harrods and get some plates. This will be a nice little project, this. Honestly, I can't tell you how happy I am with this. I'm just really pleased. Well, I'm going to drop this down at my mechanics, so leave it with me for... Well, I always say this, I don't know why I make such a big deal about this. I always try and guess how long it's going to take me, when for you guys, it's going to take you 10 seconds, isn't it? So, I'll see you in 10 seconds. There is even, this flies, you know. Really pins you into your seat. And in addition to that, when you sting it, there's no black smoke. Pretty good. And we're back in my lovely rare Citroen C6, and it's all finally prepared and ready for sale. And I must say, it looks $1 million. Or should I say £1,000,000 francs? Anyway, regardless of currency, it looks really good. It's been quite a lengthy process, this one, just because everyone I use is busy. But we got there in the end. After we last spoke, I took this down to my mechanic for a service and MOT and asked them to fit all those parts in the boot. It needed some suspension work on the front. It was quite clunky and knocky every time you went over a bump. And now, you ready for this? All sorted. Once those few parts were fitted and the service was done, it sailed through its MOT with not a single advisor item, which is pretty good going, isn't it, for a 18, 19-year-old car with 127,000 miles on the clock. It just backs up my theory that the previous owner, who had this car for 10 or 12 years, did genuinely look after it. I found out as well that he had a cam belt replacement, so that's good news. One less thing to worry about. When it was finally done at my mechanics, I picked it up and I took it over to Prestige Wheels in Bredbury, who refurbished the wheels. So they stripped them, repaired them, and then powder coated them, and they look as good as new. They were a bit battered and scruffy looking, but now they look really good. They've done a really good job. So at that point I had a Citroen C6 that had a clean MOT and a nice set of wheels, but the whole car still looked a bit flat, a bit sorry for itself. So I was thinking I'd probably take it down to Jimmy the Magician for a good buff and also ask him to buff the headlamps, but he was really busy, so instead I took it to Tameside Detailing. They carried out what's known as a Stage 1 polish, so they spent hours toiling over this. It was definitely worth it though. I picked it up from there this morning and under their lights it looked almost as good as new. He said as well, it was all original paint, barring that rear quarter. That's the only panel that's ever been painted on this car. The rest is completely original. Bit of a bonus, isn't it? Whilst it was there, they also gave it a proper valet, so the inside's nice and clean. They also detailed the engine bay. So I'm really pleased with this car now. I've spent quite a lot on it. Bear in mind, I only paid £750 for the car. I've exceeded that in my spend. But we can't dwell on that. I've just taken this back to work and I've got some photographs of it outside my gates, so it's ready to be advertised, but I'm not really sure how much to advertise it for. I suppose the next step really, the next logical step, is to pull over, somewhere scenic I suppose, why not? And I'll talk you through my costs, then we'll try and work out what I can advertise it for. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, somewhere between 3 and 4 grand. Is 3995 a bit greedy? I don't know. It's quite a rare car, this, and it's now one that's, you know, fully sorted. It's only had 3 owners, the cam belt's been replaced, service history is very good, and it now certainly looks the part, so I don't know if 3995 is too greedy. It drives really well. If I had the space and the free cash, I'd probably just keep it, but I don't really at the moment, so I think I need to rehome it, rehouse it. Right, here we go then. Turn off capital, turn off engine. Let me get my calculator out then. So I paid £750 for the car. The wheels at Prestige cost me £336. The bill at Tameside Detailing was £280. What else? Oh, my mechanic bill, the big one. So oil filter, oil, front brake pads it needed. Also it needed an offside front bottom ball joint cover. It needed a near side and offside front drop links. They've also schultzed it underneath, which is like a wax oil thing just to protect it. Some labour and an MOT test fee. Now the labour was quite steep because they fitted some of those parts in the boots. So my total bill was £684.99. 684.99. I haven't bothered yet replacing the number plates. I might do, but then when I looked, they were the original Citroen plates from London somewhere. So it seemed a bit sort of like sacrilege really to replace those. I might do that because there's a little bit of rust seeping down on the front one from its rusty screw. What else? I think that's it really. I think that's it. So this car currently owes me £2,050.99. So maybe thinking about it, 3995 is a bit greedy. Might try 3495 because at 3495 it'd still leave me just under £1,500 profit, which is pretty good going, isn't it? I think I'll do that, you know. Yeah, 3995's a little bit greedy. Doesn't sit well with me, that. But yeah, that's about it. Just trying to think if there's anything else. I feel like I've forgotten something. I don't think I have, to be honest. I don't think I have. If I do remember something, I'll make an amendment to this video. But if you don't hear from me again, then that's it. £2,050. So another job well done, really. Quite pleased. So thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. I'll leave the links below. And yeah, cheers guys. See you next time. Hope you enjoyed the adventure with this little, well, not little, this big French barge. See you next time.